Hi, and welcome to a new series here on the channel where we're going to be taking a look at a tool from Iron Man software named PowerShell Universal. Now, to start off, this video is not at all sponsored by Iron Man software or the team behind PowerShell Universal. This is just strictly me really enjoying PowerShell Universal as a tool to be able to create different API routes, to create different dashboards and applications. We've actually been looking at this in the live streams recently as well. So I'm going to actually show you what we've made in the live streams because we're going to make something very similar to what we made in the live stream. There's going to be a little bit of differences and a lot more just straightforward and shortened, curated versions here in this series. So what we were able to make using this tool here is, let me just refresh this page, is we've made a tool for Active Directory for people maybe in a help desk environment where you can actually look up the name of an employee here. So if we just type in employee, we actually get the two employee names that would have a username that would have employee in them. We have test employee 1 and test employee 2. If we actually go ahead and we select test employee 1, we can actually go ahead and see all the information fetched from Active Directory for it. And what we'll actually do in this series is we're going to create this, but also add a lot more features like resetting the password, disabling the account, enabling the account, and unlocking the account. So first things first is we actually need to install PowerShell Universal on our computers. And I'm going to be giving a little tour of the application as well, and just doing the basic setup to get us up and running for this series and for the actual coding portion, which is going to start on the next video. So to install the PowerShell Universal tool, we're going to first need to go to ironmansoftware.com, and I'll be posting the links for the downloads in the description down below as well. So don't worry if you don't necessarily fully follow along on the links here. It will be pasted down below for the download. And then we're going to click on PowerShell Universal and then click on downloads here. And the main difference as well from the live streams to the tutorial series is on the live stream, I was using PowerShell Universal 3.10.3. On this tutorial series, we're going to be using PowerShell Universal 4.2.9, which is the latest release on January 18th of 2024 here. And we're going to be downloading the MSI. I find that just this install method for YouTube videos just works a little bit better. It's a little bit easier to follow along. But there is a module that you can actually install for PowerShell Universal and then install the PowerShell Universal server directly in PowerShell as well, which they do have a lot of documentation on here, and the installation guides are fairly straightforward. And you can even do the install through the MSI or through the executable as well. So it uses the MSI exec and it uses the MSI, and you can install it through PowerShell this way. And there is the PowerShell module version, like I said. There you can also install it via Chocolatey. But we've downloaded the MSI here. We have the MSI here right now ready to go. Now my install is just going to be slightly different. I'm going to have to open up in two windows just because I have already installed it on this computer in the past. So it has remembered some of the parts of the install. So I just need to kind of work around that here. So we're going to double click on it. You're going to get this typical screen for the setup wizard. And in here, we're just going to want to click on next. And then here is where we are going to change screen. So typically when you click on next, you're going to get this end user license agreement. We're going to accept the terms. We're going to click on next. It's then going to ask you for the port that you want to install it on. I normally leave it on 5000, which is the default. If you already have something that's running on port 5000, just go ahead and change this to an available port and then click on next. Now, this is something we're actually going to have to change, but I noticed that I actually get a lot of issues if I go ahead and try to put the service account and the service account password in here right away. It usually gives me a privilege insufficient, but then I could go ahead and do it afterwards. So just be aware that if you leave this blank, it will run as local system. And because we're doing an Active Directory integration with our PowerShell Universal instance, some of the tasks that we need to execute need to have administrative privileges in Active Directory. So this is why we need to associate a service account that has the rights in Active Directory to do this. Now, I would normally recommend creating a service account in Active Directory that has just the right amount of access to perform the tasks that you're going to be asking your API routes to do, like resetting passwords, unlocking accounts. You should try to avoid to just blanket a domain admin in here or an enterprise admin in here to do that, just because it is a lot of extra rights that you don't necessarily need to. Now, if you do create APIs that actually do eventually require that domain admin, of course, that is always an ability to change the service account and put the domain admin account in there. But we're just going to leave this blank for now. I'm going to show you guys how to actually change that in the next go here. And just to show you guys what actually happens for me right now is if I actually put in my Jacked and then administrator account and then put in my password here and then click on next and then click on install, we're actually going to see, I'm just going to close this window behind me here. We're going to see that this actually fails when it goes to start the service. And then we're actually going to fix it. And then we're going to change the service account. So we're just going to wait till this actually finishes copying. This normally takes about a minute or two. And then it's going to try to start the service, which we're going to see that in just a moment here. So it says starting services. And this is usually where it will actually error out. But it is not a big deal. We can go ahead, we could go back, we can leave it blank, and then we can change it afterwards, which is what we're going to be doing in just a moment here. We're just going to let it wait to fail. So it actually did not fail this time. Just be aware that if you do get it to fail with the service account, what I would recommend doing is just leaving the service account blank and then go ahead and go into services. And in here, you're going to find your PowerShell Universal. This is just an error that I've had in the past. And I've had to kind of figure out ways around it here. So we're going to see PowerShell Universal. We can actually see that it is running as Jacked Administrator here. But you can go into properties here, go into logon, and you can actually set up the administrator account in here or your actual service account, which is what I would recommend is creating that service account just for PowerShell Universal and giving it just the right amount of access to be able to do what you need to do. But because this is a test environment with very limited number of accounts and very limited access to who can even access this environment, which is actually just me, we are going to be just using our administrator account. And we're just going to be clicking on OK. And right after the install, it is already ready to go. So you can actually open up a web browser here and go to a local host port 5000. And it's going to pop you up to a login screen. Now, by default, the username and password is admin and admin. So you can go ahead and log in. Now, the first thing that I'm going to get you guys to do is change that password, because that password should never stay as admin. This way no one else can log into your system here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to reset the password for admin. We're going to put the old password, and then we are going to put in the new password here. And we're going to click on OK. And there it is updated. So now if we actually go ahead, we sign out, and we go ahead, we try admin, it will not work. And then if I put in my new password here, it lets us in. So in here, you'll actually get like all the dashboards of your PowerShell Universal environment. So it'll tell you how many endpoints you have, how many scheduled jobs you have, how many current running jobs there are, how many dashboards you have, how many pages, if you're licensed, how many processes, and the uptime of your environment, and a health check. So you can actually see the health check here. So everything for us is good. The only thing that's actually a warning here is the PS script analyzer. which I don't have it installed on this computer. So I'll have limited features in the editor, but that is okay. And we can see our version up above here, which is 4.2.9. So now a little tour of the application here. So we have our APIs and we have our endpoints here. This is where we're going to be creating all of our routes. So if we actually just go create a new endpoint, as you can see, we can just create like a nice easy test URL with a method of get. And then in here, we can actually just go ahead and edit the details in here. And this is where your PowerShell script is. You can fully test out your route afterwards in here. So as an example, if we do a get computer info, I believe that is the command, we can actually go ahead and we can execute this. But before you execute this, make sure you always hit save, and that will actually register it. And there's all the info that comes back. So we get it all in a nice JSON object, as you would expect with an API route here. So very, very easy to bring up an API route in PowerShell Universal, especially compared to REST-PS, which does have a little bit more of an intricate system. You also have the ability to do some automation. So very similar to the task scheduler on Windows, you can actually store a bunch of scripts in here and have jobs and have them on a schedule, or actually just make them a one-time, continuous, or specific cron jobs. So you can actually create your own little schedule and pick exactly what you want. If you want a random delay on there as well, that is perfect. And then we also have user interfaces, which is what you guys saw a little bit earlier with the apps here. So we can actually create apps and create pages that will have, usually the pages are hosted within apps, and the pages can actually execute PowerShell code and actually execute on your API endpoint. So this is very, very handy stuff. And then of course we have our platform settings and security, which will be all that nitty gritty background stuff. And as we can see here in security, if we go into authentication, we do get an enterprise authentication is only available for licensed instances. And you're going to see that for quite a few things here. When you go into the free version, you're going to notice that some of the things are blocked because you do need a license, but you can still do a lot with the free tier. But again, in an enterprise environment, I would definitely recommend having a license. This way you can have, especially the enterprise authentication on its own, I think is probably going to be worth the security benefits for an enterprise use. So that is really the PowerShell Universal in a nutshell, how to install it, the quick little tour here. If you guys do want to see more things a little bit more in advance of everybody else, I do recommend checking out the live streams, which are on Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They usually last about 2 to 3 hours. They might be longer in the future, and I might add more days in the future as well. But so far, they've been really, really great. A lot of interaction with the viewers as well, just going through and learning the different things together. We already have a lot of requests on the live streams for different tools that we want to learn, like Ansible. I also want to explore some Docker as well. So we're going to be exploring all those things on the live stream, and then they'll be coming to the channel as tutorial series as well. So you can kind of see my learning through the live streams, and then if you don't want to see that, you will still get the tutorials on the actual channel as well. If you guys want to see any type of specifics with PowerShell Universal, please let me know in the comment section down below. I will do my best to create a series or a video that will actually focus around that as well. If you guys have cool tool ideas, please let me know in the comment section, and we could build that tool in PowerShell Universal as well. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified when that next video comes out, and I will see you guys on the next video.